Most of us think that things in life go very, very quickly and we can rush towards the goal that we would like to achieve. But I want to show you something right now that I think is a great analogy in terms of thinking about your own life and how you can achieve things in your own life. So if you don't know me, I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people to help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out as much as I possibly can. So at the beginning of 2020, it was around springtime, I bought some grapefruits. And these grapefruits were a little ripe. They were still good, but when I opened them up, there were some seeds in them that were beginning to sprout. And those seeds, there was probably about 5 of them that were beginning to sprout. I actually took them and put them into a wet piece of cloth, and I grew them a little bit more, made sure I'd spent about a month making sure that they would sprout even more. And then I took all of those seeds and I planted them right here. I'm going to show you it right now. So this is my grapefruit tree that I am growing. You can see it's a little wee tiny tree at this moment. Pretty cool, right? That this grapefruit is actually growing. I didn't think it would work. And in fact, most of them, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 of those sprouts didn't work. I'm not a great gardener, so I had actually killed them and they didn't grow. There was either too much water, wasn't enough sunlight, whatever, and one of them was able to sprout. And I think this is a great analogy for life. It is now the end of October of 2020, so it's been about 6 months to get to that wee little tiny sprout that is actually growing. And now I'm really worried about what's going to happen this winter because we do get frost. So I am kind of hovering between, should I bring it inside? Should I keep it out here? And I don't know what the best conditions are, because inside it's a little darker and outside has more light, but there's higher chance of some sort of problem happening outside because a frost could come and I'm going to forget about it. I know myself, I tend to forget things. And so I think that this is a great analogy for life and thinking about things that you might deal with in your life. First of all, things take extraordinarily long. They take a long time to actually complete to get there. So this grapefruit tree, hopefully it's going to be some monstrous tree in my backyard someday. I'm not sure if it's going to get there. There's lots of little mistakes and problems that happen along the way, as we saw with the other seeds. That there was at least 6 or 7 or 8 different seeds that were sprouting that I killed, and it's very possible that this tree is going to go through the same thing. This little seedling is going to go through the same thing, and it takes an extraordinarily long time to actually get to the point where it is something, because it started out as a wee little thing like this, and now it is a little bigger. I'm a little less worried about it. But there is all these life choices that we have to go through that are challenging, that are difficult, that we don't know what the right answer is. There really is no right answer to what you should do, because there are choices that are better, but they're a higher risk, right? So I could choose to put it outside, but at the same time, I could lose the tree because of that choice. It's a slightly higher risk from doing that because it's going to get more sunlight and it's probably going to grow a little bit quicker and a little faster. If I bring it inside, it's a little bit more sure of a bet, but at the same time, it's not going to grow as much. And I could actually kill it that way too, because it's not going to get the sunlight that it would require, that you would get outside. So there is this balance that we have to do in life, that we have to sort of figure out what is the best long-term thing for us to do. And now that I talked about it on this video, maybe I'm going to worry about it a little more. I don't know. But at the same time, I think that there is so many life choices that we have to make that It is over the course of an extremely long time that we don't know what the right answer is. And the only thing that we can do is to keep going forward and keep trying different things. So the reason why the other sprouts didn't work was because I was doing different things. And this one, I decided to put it in some soil a little quicker than the other ones. And this one actually did okay. And the other ones, I think they actually just drowned. I think there was too much water there and not enough soil. So there's all these conditions that we have to think about that we don't know. And in life is very much like that there is interlocking conditions that we don't know what the right choice is. We often think about, and in fact, this is a flaw with most science on decision making. It's a flaw with most science in general, that we think that life works in the sense that you can control for all the different conditions, and there's only one variable that we're manipulating or a few variables that we're manipulating, and all of the other things are sort of static. But it doesn't work that way. Life is about interlocking choices, a large system, what is called the system of equations, that are all interlocking, and there's really no best solution that is there. And as you adjust one thing, everything else changes because of that. And so what I want you to think about when you make choices in your life, first of all, know it's going to be an extraordinarily long time, and it's going to be very, very boring. The day to day, if I was to sit here and watch this tree grow on a daily basis, it would have been extremely boring. I would have gotten tired of it very, very quickly. However, it is growing. It's doing the thing that it should be doing. Just like you are growing and developing and becoming either a better person or a more mature person, or, maybe you're learning something in life. Maybe you're just changing, right? There's all these sort of things that are going on. And if you were to look at yourself on a day-to-day basis, you wouldn't really notice it. It's like with my kids. When I watch them learn how to speak or learn how to write, golly, it takes a long time from when they do their first word, which doesn't really sound like a first word as you think it is. It doesn't really sound like anything. It just sounds like something, and you recognize it as a word. And then they learn all of these things day in and day out and day in and day out until eventually become a lot more fluent. And it's not until maybe you're 14, 15 years old, that everything starts clicking and it becomes a lot more easier, a lot more fluent, where you can communicate very quickly and at the same time actually, communicate on different levels and get sort of different things. It takes a long, long time. And even still, I'm learning all sorts of things every single day. I'm now 41 years old. I'm learning all sorts of layers in life and how things work, getting different perspectives. So know that life is very much this way, where you have different, it just takes a long time to actually get something done. But if you were to look on it a day-to-day basis, you would not see anything changing. It would look like it was the same thing every single day. Now, the last thing I want to point out is that there's really no best choice in life. There's only the choice that you choose. And so if we had a perfect world and we had replicated ourselves 30 times, which is what statistical analysis sort of thinks about, and that's how we sort of analyze decision making, where we can figure out where there is a better choice out there, is we have to replicate ourselves 30 times, actually 60 times, because then we could see ourselves in different conditions. But we don't have that. We do not have a moment where we can look at ourselves 60 times. Now, we can do that in a population, and it's easy to do that in a population because we can assume that people are all very similar, which they're not. We all have individual choices. We all do things by ourselves. And so for you, for your own individual decision, know that if you make a choice, it's the choice that you just have to make. And once you make that choice, just be happy with that choice. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the best choice or worst choice. Just know that that's the thing that you have to work with, and you can keep going with that thing that you have to work with. So that's all I really want to say. Know that good things about growth and development, good things about, becoming a better person, they take a long time. It's really difficult to actually get there. And then the second thing is that there's really no great choices that we have. The only choice that we have is the choice that we made. And once you know that, when you know that there's no good or bad decision and you just go with that one choice, then you just go with it and you stick with it. And you got to learn to become okay with that choice. So with that, give me a thumbs up, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that this grapefruit tree actually grows into something special, because maybe one day this YouTube video is going to be up there, and then some of you might drive by and see this big, beautiful grapefruit tree. Wouldn't that be an amazing thing to see? So with that, that's all I wanted to say. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video. Oh, and give me a like if you like this one. Hopefully we can pass the message about growing grapefruit trees and life. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.